Ready again for action, the party leaves the broken armory. Mundo, taking the lead, heads towards the next door. With his faithful crowbar Denise, the door is easily cracked open. The sight that awaits the eager bard is one of horror and wonder. Before him is an ancient laboratory. Tables of bubbling mixtures, odd ingredients, and strange odors fill the room. At the very back of this chamber, clad in a dark, tattered robe, is an old, foul-skinned human figure. He's moving back and forth, table to table, working away on some dark alchemy project. The party readies their weapons as Mundo boldly steps forward and attempts to speak with him. The fiend turns to Mundo, revealing his glowing red eyes. He answers with a scratching tone that seems to be coming from every direction.
Are you here to assist me?
Answering carefully, Mundo convinces the alchemist that yes, they are here to help him with his work. Rook, Mibozo, and Farodin watch from the safety of the doorway as Mundo continues. The conversation reveals that the man is actually the master alchemist, now turned undead, Firol Sal. He has worked endlessly in the laboratory for centuries, obsessed with crafting a disease that can kill the gods. The bard then attempts to persuade Firol to hand over the master keys to the ruins. The smoldering eyes of the mad alchemist seem to cool with Mundo's words. He gladly hands over the keys. Everyone lets out a sigh of relief. Mundo backs out of the room slowly as Firol returns to his unending task. The party swiftly closes the door behind them. They now set their efforts on exploring the remaining chambers. Armed with the master key, they easily unlock the way forward to a room with 2 chests. Mundo sends in Charles to plunder the cases. He returns to his master with an armful of frigid woe containers. 2 ice elementals, who have been following the party this entire time, cannot resist the magical call of these objects. They reveal themselves. A fight in the doorway begins, but the cold bites of the icy manifestations prove no match for the group. In their death throes, they explode into frosty piles of snow. In the room with the chests, there is also another door. This has a lever next to it. Charles is of course set with the task of pulling it to see what happens. A blast of fire can be heard from the other side of the door. Charles flips the trap off, and the party opens the door to take a closer look. It seems to be a crude way to destroy any unwanted experiments. Flames will come from the ceiling and incinerate anything that may be in the area. The party makes a note of it and continues on. Charles unlocks the next door. 3 zombies are crowded into a narrow hallway. Lucky for him, because Charles is invisible, the undead take no notice of him. But then a genius idea strikes the group. Mundo instructs Charles to lure the zombies into the flame room. Charles attempts this by tossing some rocks in that direction. It succeeds. The mindless undead shuffle just far enough into the trap. But Charles is unable to flip the lever himself as he slowly fades back into the weave. But Farodin comes forward, raises his wrist crossbow towards the switch, and takes a shot. The bolt hits its target with full force, sending a blast of fire down onto the zombies, burning them all to ash. The way is clear now, so our heroes move on and start checking the remaining rooms. After finding nothing but broken furniture and junk, they come upon an office of pristine condition. A chest, writing desk, and bed furnish the room, all clean as if made fresh that day. Mundo, having not seen a proper bed in weeks, makes no hesitation to leap onto it and rest a while. Slightly refreshed once again, our party searches the room. A note found by Fahrudin is written in some strange text, so he keeps it to be translated later. Mundo unlocks the chest, but this spills forth a pile of undead snakes that splash out onto the floor. The four are now being bitten left and right, and trying to fight the swarm is proving difficult. So Fahrudin attempts to calm the snakes with his words. He succeeds. The snakes listen carefully to the ranger as he asks them nicely to get back into the chest. But not before he can loot it for its treasures. Now a couple gold pieces richer, the group continues their exploration. Mundo slowly opens the next door. He sees an old library that is half sunken into the water. Sensing no danger, the party steps in to investigate further. Just then, flying out of the water like a spear, a huge tentacle reaches out and wraps itself around Mibozu. A giant octopus has made this area its home apparently, and is not fond of guests. Mibozu is now being swung about the room. The others gather their wits and rush to aid their comrade. Fahrudin is able to make a heavy strike against the outstretched tentacle, severing it. Now the enraged animal turns its attention to the wood elf. Fahrudin is now caught in its grasp, all the while the others make attack after attack to try and loosen its grip. The room is now covered with bloody, ink-filled water as the giant animal thrashes about. The fight is eventually won, with Rook throwing his prized dagger right into the face of the beast. Not wanting his friend to lose such a valuable item, Fahrudin risks his fingers and retrieves the weapon before the corpse can sink back into the icy darkness. Unfazed, the party continues to the last chamber, a simple room. This one as well is half submerged underwater. Not wanting to be caught off guard again, the party carefully investigates the pool. Needing a better look, Mibozu parts the water with his druidic power. This reveals a sunken chest. Charles is summoned once again and has the honor of chest retrieval. What Charles lifts out of the case is what our adventurers have been seeking all along. 20 doses of the cure to frigid woe. Mibozu immediately takes one and drinks it down. The soothing warmth of the potion thaws his whole body, and he has been cured. Satisfied and very ready to get out of this damp place, the party gather their loot and make the long journey back to Zarinya and the buyer. Upon arrival at the border of the outpost, they are spotted by Orvo. He's overwhelmed with surprise and happiness to see the group very much not dead. This stirs the other occupants of the camp as they poke out their heads of their tents to witness the victorious hero's arrival. In his large tent, the buyer is also quite pleased to see them. He quickly places the remaining doses of the cure in his magical chest. This transports them to Elro in Palebank Village. A hefty bag of gold is sent back in reply, a clear signal that those in the village afflicted by the disease, Tulgi, Irvin, and his daughters, will surely be cured. The buyer then opens a portal and turns to the group. He explains that some powerful friends of his are quite interested in meeting them. Are they really ready to make a name for themselves? Mundo the lovable, Fahrudin the eagle-eyed, Mibozu the unlucky, and Rook the foe splitter. These fearsome four do not hesitate to step through the gateway.